Here we go for another edition of Jofo in the Ring. And yes, my name is Frank Jofo, and we have a special guest, the legend of Quebec wrestling, EXESS. How are you, brother?
Very fine. You?
Very good, very good. Everybody that I've got on the show always talks great stuff about EXESS. Now we have you on the show. It's an honor to have you on here. We know you are a legend in Quebec wrestling. How did your journey start in professional wrestling when you were young, EXESS?
It was starting pretty rough, I would say. Back in the day, there was only like 3 main promotion in Quebec. So, like the one that I was like with old school wrestler, like you got just beat up in the ring, like legit beat up in the ring, like. So, I'll tell you, like I really started to love wrestling when I started back in the day in IWS with all the guy you know.
Well, you used to face the Green Phantoms. Used to face the Sexxxy Eddies. Was there a tag team partner that you liked in the IWS that you liked wrestling with at every match?
I would say back in the day I was really focusing on wrestling in a solo match. Like okay. I really feel like I wanted to show everybody. Like back in the day, the mentality was like put up everything you got. Every match, like throw it all, like do everything you can to stand up because the lineup of wrestlers was just amazing. Like there was Steen, Rami, Flying Hurricanes, like Viking, Damien. Like you got to stand up. And like I was so perfectionist, so I was like, if something happened, I want to be the only one to blame. So like,
okay.
I was more focusing on. I had fun. Don't get me wrong. I had fun wrestling with everybody, teaming with some guys. I had really fun of it, but I was like maybe too much perfectionist to
but
to enjoy.
For your career, you were more of a singles wrestler, and the match that always stands out to me and the fans here at Jofo in the Ring is the match you had at C4 with Sexxxy Eddy, Kevin Steen, and El Generico. Now that was a 4-way match, and a lot of people might say that match was the match that put Kevin Steen and El Generico on the map. Now, I know you were traveling with them before. How does it feel to see them on TV now, main eventing WrestleMania, winning championships, and being your friend, obviously, as well?
I'm just impressed by everything they did. Like a lot of people, what do you feel about it? I just feel like grateful to be able to be with those guys, to wrestle those guys, to learn from those guys. But they were ready to sacrifice way more than I would. So the only reason they are there is because they did what nobody else would do, So when you say like this match in CZ, I would say the match itself was not what jumpstarted their career, but the backstage maybe jumpstarted their career, in my opinion, from my insight, because back in the day, like Eddie was the one who brought up, who made this happen. Like back just the show before, he just got the promo with his big cut and everything.
Yeah.
Everybody was super excited about Eddie back at that time. IWS was something huge too, so we got a lot of hype. So when we show up, because like it was because of Eddie, we were there. So we decided to just give it all, like to make shine everybody. Like even if I was injured, I decided to show up too. I had 2 broken fingers from the past week.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
So you wrestled in that match with 2 broken fingers?
Yeah. The show before, it was one of my dream match I had in IWS. It was me versus Trent Acid. Like back in the day, I don't know if you know Trent Acid, but this guy was a legend. Like everywhere.
I know of him, but I haven't watched a lot of his matches. But yes, continue.
One of the best wrestler. Like back in the day, it was maybe like as exciting to see as AJ Styles. Like
okay.
So. And I did the moonsault slam, and my finger got stuck into his jeans, so it broke with the moonsault slam. So if you see the match, it's not taped because I wanted, like, it was legit broken.
Okay.
So we had fun. Like the match itself, like was amazing. Like the elevation at the end was something like wow. we made this, you know, like
Yeah.
IWS, and then you got Zendig. Okay, we know you. I think he repeated Canadians like 10 times. Like, I know you like those Canadians. Okay, those Canadians can come back if you love those Canadians. Like to make sure, like no more IWS thing, you know. So
Yeah.
it was funny. I think it was like a little bit like I think like I took this like okay, we got your attention now. But I think what really jumpstarted Rami and Steen career was backstage because Rami was one of the guys that can be friend with everybody. Like he was what you see of him in TV, it's legit himself. You know, like
Yeah.
you see him for the first time, you just talk for everything, and this guy is legit friend with anybody, and he knows so much about wrestling. Like back in the days, if you want to see indie wrestling, you have to buy videotapes and everything.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so hard to see, and I was trying to get a glimpse of everything what like it was making, but Rami, I don't know why, he knew everybody. He knew the moves, this like the roster, like he saw Matt Cross. Oh, this guy, da da da. Start to talk with him like for like he was his friend for the first time. It's like, wow, I didn't even know who Matt Cross was, you know.
Okay.
So Rami was like the guy, like know everybody, and he at that point he was getting really close with Super Dragon, which lead them to PWG, which really jumpstarted their career, in my opinion. Like, but without CZ, it would maybe happen, but not as fast, you know. So the roster back in the day in CZ was very good, in my opinion. Like we were there. There was like Matt Cross, Super Dragon, like Mike Quackenbush. I just name dropped a few of them. Like I
Yeah.
know, but it was amazing, and just getting the respect from them was like, okay, that's good, you know. So we did a good job,
Well, you
and
guys were young when you were in CCW and C4 and even PWG as well.
I didn't work in PWG myself. It was too far. Uh, I was stupid. I was stupid. Like, why would I go there? Spend my own flight? Like, you know, I was like, I was stupid. Like, I didn't know the guys. Like, oh yeah, we will cover our own flight, but when we go there, we're gonna do like wrestling everywhere and get paid for it, and then pay back our. Like, Stu and Uno was really smart about that. I just talked with them like I think like a few months ago. Like
Okay.
that was like what I missed was this, and like how you make money with like it was $2,000 flight back in the day, and we just chat about it. It was like it was fun. I'm still learning with every insight they had, you know.
Yeah.
So like I would say like that match in CZ was really really like the backstage of it. Get the respect of the guy backstage, and you may not remember, but Jersey Pro was really big too,
Mhm.
and we did a lot of match there, and it was good too because the locker room was great too, and like you know it was like when you got the respect from most of the roster everywhere you go, your name start. It's good that your fans love you, but when you got the backstage with you, it's kind of make it like easier to get repeat the same match over and over everywhere. So
Well, what I want to ask you is the ovation you guys got at the end, because it still gives me goosebumps to this day watching that video. And I know a friend of mine has it on a VHS, and that's how old it goes back. You're a 20-year veteran. Have you ever experienced something like that other than that ovation that you got when you fought Kevin Steen, El Generico, and Sexxxy Eddy?
I would say like the kind of it's one thing to hear the sound, but it's not a thing to feel the crowd.
Yeah.
And at that time, like I would think I was a decent wrestler back in the day, but not as good as Kevin Steen and Rami. When I say Rami, it's like El Generico.
El Generico, Sami Zayn. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's say Rami. It's easier for me. So I was calling even in promo back there. I was calling everybody by their first name. So I was like
Okay.
totally bad at it. Like so some match they did like they got that crazy reaction. Like I remember the first time in Jersey Pro they see El Generico's brainbuster on the buckle. The crowd went nuts for 30 seconds. I was backstage and I was having chills. It was like, I would love to get that reaction too, you know? But I think that's why I say I was not that good because those kind of reaction we had in the Canadian four-way at CZ, I still lead Kevin and Ronnie. Like I was able to feel that because they were in the same ring as me. Like I would give them all the credit. Like they were that good, you know. I was good to take bump and making people look good, not fuck up anything for the other guys. That was my strongest. Like if I say, I don't know, I say in English, but
Tu peux dire
one
en
of
français.
ma plus grosse force à la lutte, like, was to put the other guys over. You know, like
Okay.
let's not bush. Let's remember everything. How to bump. How to make the other guy look good. Like if you see Kevin Steen, his very first match in IWS was versus me. Like he was going somewhere new. I want to get booked with EXESS. You know, Jersey Pro. His very first match was versus me. So I'll make sure to make him look good. I'll make sure he looks strong and look everything. And, you know, I was like, I was there because I make them look good, and I don't mind to drive and do the road. So let's split the fee, and
Yeah.
doesn't make you look good. You guys look bad. So
Well,
I'm giving them all the credit.
as deserved, and as you could see right now in WWE, they are on top of the world right now. This past WrestleMania, they main evented WrestleMania against the Usos and won tag team championships. I'm sure you had a little tingle inside. And how were you feeling watching your good friends that used to wrestle 20 years ago wrestle on the main stage of WWE at WrestleMania?
I would say so. Like when Kevin got, like, I knew the first time I knew Kevin got signed. Like he was training and he was just doing a little drill at Torture Chamber.
Yeah, torture.
No, yeah, before that, just before
Okay.
you want to get into it, like I knew, like, don't get me wrong, I study a lot of, like, even if I look just to goof around in the locker room, I still study everybody
Mhm.
and learn from everybody. And I always knew Kevin's biggest strength was how he street smart about wrestling. Like he knows way more in about the, how can I say, like, how wrestling is made, like the politics of wrestling.
Mhm.
Like, don't get me wrong, he's a great athlete inside the ring, but I always thought back in the day, like his biggest strength was outside of the ring. Like how to make money in wrestling, how to push my name over, like as a product, as how, like, he doesn't want to talk to the promoter, I need to win, I need the belt, but he'll push ideas that sell tickets and put him over. So like it's hard to not put this guy over after that. Like he pitch you ideas of this, and everything works. It's hard to not give this guy a chance. Like, okay, like I knew it from the first day. If he was going to WWE, he's gonna get it all. Like there was no doubt in my mind. Like, and I'm pretty sure it was like very, not very easy, but he was that smart, in my opinion.
Well,
And him and
he worked hard to get there. It took a lot of years to get there, and to see he was on the journey with you to go there, it seems like it's a good feel good story for you as well.
like it's a fucking life lesson I've learned, because I remember, like, when we were traveling, like, I will be in WWE. Trust me, it's like I was laughing. Like, there's no way. Like, you're good. I know you're a decent product. Back in the day, you're a decent product. I believe in you for a lot of things, but don't get me wrong, you're not the guy that will be there. And I was like, I was wrong. like now I just learned to shut up and just, like,
sorry, Kevin, I was wrong.
yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, sorry about, but but his mindset was something I was never, like I never see anybody with that mindset in my life. Like there was no question about how, or he was reaching every goal like he had. Like, even for my son right now, I'm just taking inspiration of him and Terry Steen too, because if you remember back in then, like in every IWS show, Terry Steen was there behind him. And
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of that. It was like back in the day we started with Rujo, right? And it was like $5,000 to start training for him. Like I would, let's say, round up with $5,000, right? It was that much money, and his dad believed in him and give that money to Rujo too, you know. Uh, and then he said to his dad, he's leaving Rougeau for IWS. Like, I don't know a dad. Like, yeah, I just spent 5,000 for you, and I'll follow you for wrestling that promotion. That like, this is the kind of dad Steen had. You know, like behind him, believe in him. Like to me, this is my insight from what I witnessed. Like as just somebody outside of the story,
Yeah.
but like everything I do with my son, I try to inspire myself with what I saw of Kevin Steen dad. Like he was that amazing guy. So I learned to make to give. How can I say in English? I learned to trust my son's feeling about wrestling. Like I don't want to do this. I don't. I feel like let's do it. Let's try it. You know, I'm here for you. I'm not here for myself. Like
Exactly.
everybody knows it. I'm old. I can have a decent run. I can do some good match here and there, but like the best of my years are gone by. You know, like. But my son at this age,
Yeah.
like I, I grew up with a lot of talent guy. Like this is my opinion. I know I'm kind of biased because it's my son, but I see Steen when he was young. I see Remy when he was young. I saw Speedball when he was young. Uno, Stu, like the progression of my son. I'm really proud of him, like, and that's why I really like push myself forward to just help him and protect him too, because he was kind of stupid like me, just trying to do like some crazy stuff. And if you wrestle solo, you take all the bumps for yourself. You know, if you're wrestling in tag team, you take half of the bump, and not like if you wrestle solo with somebody's like wrestling smart, you'll take like maybe 2, 3 bumps a match. You know, like
Yeah.
sometimes you get up a match, it's like I didn't bump. Like I know it's my job to bump, not yours. You know, your job is to make the people cheer up. You know, like
Yeah.
nobody's
Exactly.
gonna cheer up for me. Like me and you, like trust me, they will love you more than me.
Yeah.
That's Nate here over there. So and that's what I try to. Yep, Nathan. It's Junior. It's a podcast. Joe from the ring. He's leaving now. So what I was trying to build right now for him is like everything that I saw, like and set the example, like be there, learn. It's like if somebody tell you something, like there was few times, yes, but shut the fuck up, you know, just say yes, no, but like if this guy take the time to tell you something, it's because they believe in you. It's not because they want to be quick or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, just don't try to defend yourself. Just accept it, another point of view, and maybe he just wants you to get better. So just say yes and learn. You know, so
And learn. Yeah. Well, for me, speaking about your son, I every time I think about your son, I picture him jumping off the top of I think it was Club Soda at the Lit Academy, and you were in that match. How do you feel as a father standing there watching your son jump off the top of the rafters? Something that you probably did when you were young too. How were you feeling?
I was totally saying no to that spot. Like I was like that's stupid. Like yeah, but yeah, I know, but it is stupid. It's dangerous. Like he wanted to do it like on the first show. I was like,
Okay.
you know what? Start with a crossbody, please. The first show he did a crossbody, and the second show I want to do the moonsault. Like yes, but the guys down, they're not comfortable to catch you. Like so, let's not do it. You know, like try to understand the limit of your opponent too. You know, like you don't want to get like just I'll do it and hurt yourself. So
Yeah.
I did not want that spot to happen, but I know how it feels, and I knew like if I was his age, I would do it anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I learned to accept to trust him, but let's do it right. So there was like a Multiman, and there was Carl Jepsen.
Yeah.
My faith and my trust in Carl Jepsen are like that high. You know, like this is the kind of guy like I would do the same move, close my eyes, and know that everything will
Catch
be
it.
fine. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So if you see the tape, Carl did catch it on his own. You know, like he did everything for everybody. Like let's make sure. Like there was a few guys I'm not sure to catch him. It's like Carl was like, trust me, I got it.
Yeah.
Everything, everybody's covered. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, that spot I got chills. Like and the reaction of the crowd, the ending of the
Yeah.
match,
Yeah.
like and one thing I'm really proud of him too is the reaction he has. Like since he is young, he was, don't get me wrong, he was traveling with me a few times, like with Steen and Randy to EWR or it
Wow.
was he was like backstage for a lot of years.
Okay.
it, Still in Quebec, but he was there. He saw Steen, he saw Randy, and every time it was like, take notes, those guys, watch those match, learn from those guys. And Randy was like the one that over exaggerate everything with intensity without looking stupid. I don't know if you. I tried to just
I totally understand what you're saying. I totally
everything
understand what
was
you're saying.
doing was right on point.
Yeah.
Selling wise, he had a mask, but you can still feel
Yeah.
what
You could
he was
feel
trying
it.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So if you try to learn from those moments and that guy, imagine if you don't have a mask, then everybody can like
See your expression on your face.
yeah, but not because they can see your expression. You have to do it less. Do it like that guy.
Yeah.
And he was 3 years old back in the days. Like learn from that guy. Like I always admire him for that. And when he started to do spots, boom, it happened, exploding. Take the time to just celebrate it and get your get your
Get your
it's
get your flowers. Get your flowers. Exactly.
it's time to act like a superstar. Like
Exactly.
backstage, be kind, like be yourself, be a good human being. But when you cross the curtain, be a superstar. And that point was really, I think, one of my biggest weaknesses. Back in the day, I was like, yeah, they'll see me wrestle, then they will cheer me. Like I was missing some few points here and there because of my judo background. I was like more of martial arts guy. So I was like, yeah, I don't need to those bullshit to show what I have. So big
Yeah.
mistake, by the way, big mistake. So seeing my son like trying a few times he missed it, but he's still on the learning curve. But more and more it goes, like the match can stop at any moment if you feel like the crowd like gives you what you want. You can stop the match like as much as you want and get that, but be the superstar. Like that's what I like. It's good to wrestle, it's good to know a lot of things, but if you cannot act like a superstar when it's time to, you won't make it.
That's it.
So
That's it. But we know that it's almost your 20-year anniversary. Any chance of you? I hope not. Hope any chance of you retiring? And if you do retire, is there a last match, last opponent that you would like to wrestle as your last match? And I'm
as
sure
my
you're
last
as your last
I
match.
would say there was one guy like on my list of wrestling. Like I think the wrestler that I fought the most was Kevin Steen. So if I was to retire, like I don't know how, I don't know what, it would be totally him. But I don't think I'm ready to retire yet because my
I
daughter
like it.
started to wrestling too.
Your
So
daughter as well.
she's 13 years old and she's
Wow.
no like she's here and there because like it's kind of hard these days but like in Ontario, but some promotion accepted to get her around. So
Okay.
let's like in New Frontier, you'll maybe see us like both of all three of us. So she already had a clip on TikTok too, like for in a show she had 1 million views. So she'll be good.
Wow. Wow.
Like
Wow.
I never had that much views for anything. So like she did a one like she did a Canadian destroyer back in the day on Kobe Durst as a
Okay.
payback because he punched her. Like the reaction of the crowd was amazing, and
Oh wow.
how she act after that was great too. So I'll do everything I can for my son now, and after I'm really sure we have to focus on my daughter too because she will be as good as him. So
Well, is there maybe in the future a faction, an excess faction with you as a manager, with your daughter and son in as a team? You could you see that one day?
I would love to, but sadly, what like I was trying to find an edge on my tag team because when I started, I was feeling like myself is a good progression, and I didn't want to be the dead weight of the team. I want to be there to help him and to promote him, but without be a dead weight for him. So what I came out to is because we're not except for New Frontier, we will be like more regular. A lot of place we go is here and there because I want to travel the most with my son. Like the more you travel, the more you get to it, the more you make connection, the more you make friends,
Experience, exactly.
experience, like feel other crowd. Like if you get comfortable with a crowd, move because you won't learn. So move a lot. But there's some place here and there that really believes in him. So those places, I just make sure we just prioritizing them. So, but to make an edge for yourself, like uh, what I think it was like, I'm not a good face. Like, let's say it. Like, I prefer to be a dick. Even if you do road trip with me, I can be a dick. Like, just for like making fun of everything. Like, I'm not a good guy. Like, so wrestling wise, it was hard for me to get like the baby face cheers and everything.
Okay.
And my son, like he can be healed, but the baby face thing, like with the crowd, the connection, his connection with his crowd is too strong to not get it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm being healed, he's being face, and like all I do is what my coach in judo was doing to me, like yell at him, just want him to be better, want to like push him to like how can I say that? You know the hockey dad that think his son is the next Wayne Gretzky
There you go. Yeah,
and
exactly.
yelling, but he's still like in a pee-wee and like
Yeah,
yelling at the
yeah, yeah.
coach.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
will
yeah.
like that's the kind of chemistry I try to build with him, and it's sometimes very hard because when I get into it and I yell at him, it's like backstage. Sorry. But I think it can give us an edge for like the reaction of the crowd because uh, there was a show we did in Destiny with
Okay.
Puff and Hayden back then, and nobody knew who we were. Like totally two total stranger, and everybody knows Puff. Like
Of
Puff
course.
just showed up, big Puff. So obviously, Nate as a baby face, he has no chance to outshine Puff. Me as a heel, I have no chance to outshine. So when I start into like when we started the match, I just yell at my son, tell him not to shake the hand, tell him to be a dick and everything. And at that moment, like the switch,
The
like
switch
all
turned.
the attention was not me and my son versus Puff and Hayden. It was like
Yeah.
me versus my son against
Them. Yeah.
Puff.
Yeah.
Yeah, them. And when we went backstage and Puff said to me, like, dude, we were pawns in your match. I was like, oh, we got something then.
There
If
you
this
go.
guy, if this guy can
Can
say
see
that
that.
to me, I was like, okay, we got something. Now we need to polish it. So maybe it will take years but I don't see myself yelling at my daughter like that. Like so so the thing is I don't know as a faction how to do it, but let's try to figure out another edge. But that way we can wrestle easily with the babyface tag team, with heel tag team, and still get if get a little edge, not during all the match, but somewhere in the match, I'll be a little bit more heel than any other heel because I'm a dick with my son, and somewhere in the match, my son will be a little bit more babyface than any other babyface team because he
Like
got
that.
yelled at by his dad,
Yeah, exactly.
and everybody can relate that. I was always trying to find edge that everybody can relate to them in their life. So when you got those strings that people get emotionally involved,
That's it.
I I really think there's money to make out of this.
Yeah.
And there's too much people in the indies like, oh, I'm glad, I'm happy, fired up baby face, it's all about me, and
Yeah.
I'm mean, I'm angry. Like there's a lot of guys do it, but not enough, in my opinion, that spread more emotion. So when you see sadness in my son's eyes, you bring another emotion. So I think it's something we don't see enough in wrestling, like sadness, like despair. Like we need those kind of emotion too to just, oh, I
To
don't
hook,
have
to,
this
to
in my
hook, to
show.
hook, to hook you in too, right?
Yeah, and it's something you don't see like stand out of the show. Like if you should watch every match, what stand out of the match, whether it's the emotion of the match, like of the card of the whole show, and You need something else. You don't try to be. If you want to be the best, don't try. You can try to copy the best, but
Yeah.
I'm not able right now. I'm too old. So I just try to find something else. So for me, I was like, let's try to find emotion that are not you don't see enough today. So let's try to work with that. And if it works, it works. If it not, let's go to the. On va aller retourner à la planche à écrire, puis let's find other ideas. So
Exactement, exactement. Last question I wanted to ask you: have you have any inspirations as being like a teacher for wrestling, or someone behind the scenes as a producer one day?
I would love to. I would love to. Maybe one day starting my own promotion when the if everything got aligned, I would really do it. But I don't want to start something just to be another one in the business.
Okay.
The business doesn't need another one just because you want to do a promotion today. You need a purpose on it. You need some. You need. I don't know how to say it, but if I'm to do something,
Tu peux dire en français si tu veux.
so if you no, just my son like trying to
All
to
good,
make me
man.
laugh.
All good, man. Don't worry
So,
about it.
so if I'm about to do something, I'll do something like my own way, So something to give the guy a bitter. Like I don't want to do just a random promotion just because let's do this.
Yeah.
Why don't we do something big? So if this happened, I'll do it like to make it big. So, but I would love to one day just being behind the scene. I totally see myself. The thing is, I was surrounded with so many great wrestlers in my life. Like I was blessed. Trust me, I was blessed. Like backstage, like wrestling Samoa Joe, AJ, and like all being with those guys, like same hotel room, same. Like, I was blessed, and I always feel like they know more than me. So I always be like, "Can you teach?" Yes, but there's some better guys than me that can. So like,
Yeah.
so being producer behind it, like maybe, but I still gotta learn a lot because there's so many. Like the more you spend time in something, the more you figure out you know nothing about it. So as the years goes by, I try to just study more. Like sit back, see the show, see the guy how he's doing his show, how he's promoting his shows. Like I know nothing. Like like it's like I try to just learn from everybody, and like every time I'm starting to learn from everybody, and I figure out I need to learn more. So for the time will come, I'll just study the most. Like that's all I'll do. Like study, learn, and if I feel like there's a need, not a need. If I feel like there's a how you say that a purpose for me,
Okay.
I need. If I feel like I can bring something, yes. If I like wrestling to me is about passion. Like if you're not passionate about wrestling, get out. Give your seat to somebody else. Like this
Exactly.
is only like if you're doing it for money, leave. If you're doing like for any other reason than passion, leave. Like it's a passion driven business, in my opinion. So I feel like if I have something to bring, I'll do it. The day I cannot bring, then the day I won't be able to bring something more. I won't. So
Well,
so
that's a
to
great.
me,
That's great. That's great to hear. For any professional wrestler out there, Access. If there's any promotions or dates you want to promote for yourself or your son, the floor is yours, my friend.
uh, well, this year will be a lot on New Frontier. Amazing guys too. Will be. I don't know. I don't have. I'm really visual, so I need
Go go
to
go
see.
go.
But uh, my agenda. I don't know if do you see me if I still watch my agenda?
Yeah. Of course, I see
Oh,
it.
you see me? I don't
I
see
still
you.
see
That's
it.
why.
Okay, I see it.
I, I'm that good with gadget, like everything technology. I'm that good.
It's all good, man.
My picture is not there, so I was like, okay,
I,
sorry.
I still see your picture there, but I hear you. So you're just
Okay,
so it's okay. So it's no problem.
okay. September 29, Project X. Can't wait to see Magnum McLaren though. This guy will be great. GPW October 7, PWO October 21. By the way, PWO is amazing. New Frontier, November 4th. Project X, November 3rd. Acclaim. Oh, yes, Acclaim too. There will be like a lot of, from what I saw, a lot of Project X, New Frontier, Acclaim Wrestling, and some promotion here and there we tried to cover. So, but
Very good.
like I told you, like I try to prioritize. Like if somebody come to see me, is like, oh, I saw money with your son. Like I want to do something. Let's work together because I know there's money
Yeah.
with him. So
Yeah.
let's try to make that happen. So
Well, you
I
know what?
just
That's our job on our end. We're gonna get as many people as possible to watch this podcast, to get your son, to get yourself, and maybe years from now, get your daughter on a big promotion as well. And you know what? I have to say, you are a legend in this business, and it's a pleasure to talk to you and to have you on your first ever podcast. I will never forget it, and I hope you can come back on some other day with your son, and we could talk some wrestling again.
thank you very much. But just before ending, like what I'm telling to everybody, surround with people that believe in yourself. Like it's one thing to believe in yourself, but people around you have to believe in you as much as you do. So it's like for to anybody in this business, have fun and surround yourself with positive guys that believes in yourself.
It's a very,
So
they're very well said, and that's some good advice for anybody out there starting from wrestling or a 20-year veteran in wrestling. That's some very good advice. EXESS, thank you very much for your time. I hope to have you on again. Say hello to your son, and we'll be in touch very soon. And I hope that all your dreams do come true for you and your son.
thank you very much.
And everybody out there, remember, follow his journey, follow him on social media, follow his son, EXESS Jr. on social media, and go see a wrestling show where they're at because you will not be disappointed. And everybody out there, remember, wrestling is life.